Uh, yeah.
Hello dear viewers, my name is Alexander Kinle Oluwatoba and with me here are
Makinde Oluwabusayo. Hi everyone.
Hello everyone, my name is Ibu Paul.
I'm Beneviche Daniel Tosami and you're welcome.
Alright, you're welcome once again to the You Speaks TV. So today we'll be talking about a very crucial topic, one that is very important to everyone out there, every youth out there, and it is all about maintaining balance. I'm sure you know how tasking it is to maintain balance, between your work, your academics, your business, or whatever, or what have you. Balance is one major thing that every one of us are, always faced with, managing. We always want to manage balance. So quickly, I want to ask, my co-hosts. All right. So what is the concept of balance all about? The whole concept of balance. What is it all about to you? Let's start with you, Sam.
I think the whole concept just talks about how you are able to stabilize everything that you are doing. So let's say a person is a student, he also has a side hustle and is doing other stuff. How you're able to stabilize and excel at every of them. That's what we are talking about.
Wow, so interesting. All right, let's hear from Busayo.
Yeah, like Tommy has said, maintaining balance is being able to do more than one thing at the same time and still do well at everything you're doing. One is not suffering because of the other. You're able to put everything, at least except to even though it's not 100%, at least to a large extent at everything.
Let's hear
From my view, I feel balance. Maintaining balance is a situation whereby you have a minimum of 2 tasks to handle, and you are being careful as to making sure that no one pays. You do not rob Peter to pay Paul. You understand? You make sure everything goes as planned, and at the end of it, you're able to have credit in both. So that's from my own aspect.
All right, so that's beautiful. So you've heard it from them. Balance is needed when you are caught in between a lot of, passions, a lot of things that you want to do, and then you want to find the right time to do all those things that you're passionate about. That is where passion is needed. So I want to ask personally, guys, from your own experiences, what are some of the things that you said you can consider as your toughest things you battle with that you think you need balance with? Let's start with Paul.
I think personally, 3 things I battle with on a daily basis. First, my spiritual life, making sure I give the appropriate time in studying the Bible and praying, and also engaged in other spiritual activities. My academics, because I do not joke with anything as personally, and also how to get money. You understand. Man shall not live by bread alone doesn't eradicate the fact that at least bread must be there, but you do not live by it alone. So you have to. These 3 things I mentioned happen to be my challenges per day.
All right.
And I seek to make balance out of it.
Wow, beautiful. So for Paul, it is spiritual life, academics, and of course, rubber. All right, let's hear from Boo Boo, the cakeist.
Basically, the same thing Paul has said. That's how life goes. Spiritual life, academics, and business. Being able to balance everything, show up every day for your people, and all that. Yes, because it's still along business. Because I have a lot of people that come, I need advice on this thing, like related to business. So that's still business wise. So and spiritual and church activities, spiritual, not me. So spiritual.
Okay, but
Spiritual academics.
okay, interesting. Now, I want to go further with Busayo because if you don't know, Busayo is a baker and she's a student and she's still the kind of person that wants to still live her life. Some people now, some people just handle academics and they are not living. Some people handle business and they are not living. So Busayo, how do you do it? How do you do it? But a lot of people can learn from you, from your experience. You're a baker, you have to meet up with classes and all that. How have you been able to juggle all these responsibilities together and still come out, fine?
Come on to scholar.
So it shocked you, don't worry, because, I know somebody needs that out there.
Well, I've not figured it all out yet, but I'm just doing it to the best of my abilities. So I don't miss classes. I come to school normal regularly. When we have class, I attend classes, and when I get back home, most times, because I'm in school throughout the day, so most of my baking are at night, yes, or very early in the morning when I come back, because thankfully my classes are not from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So sometimes I leave school by 2:12. So I bake during that. Then the next morning I decorate. I look for how to shuffle it, but still have time for school. Then I have time for school. Then the remaining hours of the day is what I put into my business.
Wow, awesome.
It's a business and this thing.
Yeah. So thank you so much for that, Sayo. I'm sure a lot of people out there are going to find that very helpful. All right, so Tosami, now to you. I know you're a lady of multiple passions and all that. So how are you, how are you keeping your head above water? All right, so yes.
First and foremost, I think what I would say is that I believe that balance is an illusion. Because personally, I don't think that you can strike a balance completely across all boards. Sometimes you have to prioritize one thing over another per time. For instance, even if I'm a business person and I'm also chasing my academics as well, pursuing my career path. And sometimes when we have exams, I will have to prioritize my academics over business at that point in time. So I have not been able to strike a 100% balance, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job, fairly. But I also think I should chip it in that there is a price to be paid for excellence. And if you want to excel, you have to pay the price.
Wow, awesome. I think, guys, I think it's very clear to you that we all need balance at one point in time in our lives. And of course, from what you've heard from my colleagues, you know that balance is just something that is not a walk in the park. For you to get balance, for you to achieve balance in your life, your career, your business, then you need to pay the price, just like Samia has said. So there's a price to pay for balance. You understand? Okay, all right, guys. So that we don't leave people hanging out there. So someone out there might be asking, then how do I achieve balance for my life? You've talked about, but what strategies, what tips can you give that that will be very helpful to our viewers out there? All right. So what strategies? Let's start with you go first.
Okay, first, I feel when you are talking about activities as a human being, as someone that has a goal to pursue, you can't totally remove the concept of time management.
Okay.
All these things revolves around about time, and you must be an expert. You must be very intentional about how you spend your time, your minutes, your seconds, your hours, ranging to the day. You must be so intentional about it, because in fact some people say, okay, I'm in class. After my class, I'll go and attend to my business. And I find that after the class, they go home and get carried away with phone, pressing phone, maybe gisting, gossiping, doing some other things that they didn't really plan initially. So you must one strategy that I want to sell out there is the ability for you to be able to manage your time. You are the manager of your time. No one will be able to do it for you except you.
Wow.
So that's what I have to say.
Thank you so much, Paul. So you've heard it from the man. Time management. Kinimowi, time management. All right. So if you want to maximize your life, business, and career, do all the things you care about and still make meaning of your life, you've heard it from the man. Manage your time. All right. Let's hear it from the Kekis.
Okay, so I think being able to set your priorities right is also very important. You know what is important to you per time. During school session, you know that, okay, your academics is important. When you have tests coming up, when you have exams coming up, that's the time to say, okay, sorry guys, we're going on a break. So we're not accepting any orders now because I'll be back in the next so minutes. So not like you're having an exam, you're still doing business and all that. When you're on holidays, you're not in school. You have all the time in the world. Go for this thing. You have all the time in the world to prioritize your business, go for more seminars and all that. So just know your priorities in your spiritual life. You know that one comes first before any other thing. So when you wake up in the morning, that's the first thing you do before you do any other thing. So just know when you know which one is when you know which one is more important to you, you pay attention to that thing more then you pay attention to the rest.
Wow, beautiful. From Busayo, Shayo Professionals. All right. Okay, so you just heard what she said. She said you should know how to prioritize your time. Know what to put first, right? You don't put the cat before the horse, right? So one goes first. For you, what is your most important goal? Put it first, followed by your less important, and keep priority. So look at your relevance, and then another thing is that look at how relevant this thing is. If this thing that you want to do, you feel that it's not relevant to you at this time, or is a long-term goal. Maybe for example, marriage, you're a student, maybe you know that you're not ready to settle down, or you're already putting more energy in a relationship that knows is going nowhere. I mean, check it. You are whining, you are playing. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? So set your priorities right. Know what you want per time and focus on that. Thank you so much, Busayo. In fact, this is a nugget. So let's hear from Tosami herself.
I think to add to what Busayo and Paul have said, I would just say discipline. Because a lot of times that is what does not give us structure and balance in whatever thing we are doing. Like Paul said, like 24 hours is not enough. But if you find a way to discipline yourself, I think I'm able to talk to myself. I'm on this table. Because sometimes I will set time, I'll say, okay, by this time I'm this and so and I'm on Instagram. And I say I want balance. You get, and like I said before, a price has to be paid. So you may not be able to spend long hours gisting with friends and all, but like Busayo said, remember your priority. Put your eyes on the prize.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You heard it from Tosami. She said it. You understand what I'm saying? So she said that we should do what? Be ready to put in the work. And she mentioned something very important, like discipline. Discipline is very important. There's no matter how huge your goals are, no matter if you refuse to stick to the plan, then you will not get anywhere. You understand? So discipline is very important. Discipline is very important. Now, another thing I would like to stress is the fact that after you've known what you want and all that, create strategies and techniques that will help you realize your goals. The reason why we have smartphones is so that some things we can easily automate some things. Probably your business is an online business, and things that you can automate a certain part of the business. Another thing that you can do is you can learn to outsource. You can't do everything by yourself. You understand? As an individual, learn to outsource. That's one great thing that you can do. You can outsource a job to a family member, to a colleague. You understand? You can just learn to leverage on relationships around you. That's one thing that you can do that can make the difference in your life. Even as a student, let's say if for any reason there is a way that you're not able to meet up with the class because you're out there, at least you know that you have a trusted friend, a trusted colleague who has gone to class, who has got the note for that class, and you can easily catch up. You understand? So it's all, and I must stress at this point that there is no one rule. There is no one rule. What works for somebody else might not work for you. So know what you want, study yourself, and then create strategies. If it is alarm, if you know that you're a heavy sleeper, if it's alarm that you can set, I wake you by 5, do it.
And stand up by that
If you know it is movies that you're watching for 5 hours, cut it. If you know you cannot do without it, start reducing it. 2 hours, 1 hour. You understand? And put more energy into those things that they are very important for you to get done. Thank you so much. I think I know someone out there has already gotten something crucial that will help change their life, career, academics for the better. Thank you so much. So any last words for our viewers out there? What do you want to say to that young person looking up to you? All right, so let's hear from okay.
I think that what I would say personally is the fact that handle things about your life and business in such a way that when you look back in years from now, you can beat your chest and say, I did my best. I think even if you are not able to strike a balance, as long as you know that you are doing your best, it's more than enough.
Wow. So don't flog yourself up. Just do the best that you can do part time.
Yes, and in addition to what Tosami say, I'll say just do what you can handle. If you know if you're not good at handling so many things at the same time, cut down on some things and focus more on the important ones. That just just buttress my last point, which is priority. Know your priorities, right? If you know you can't handle so many things, what other people are doing, it doesn't mean you should handle all that. If you don't want to suffer at the
Responsible.
Detriment.
yes. So just do what you can handle part time.
Thank you so much.
And from my own aspect, I feel personally you need to be careful and intentional about your timing. I keep personally, I keep talking about the time aspect. Wake up every morning. You are very intentional about your daily movement, what you do every time, every second, every minute. And I feel once you are able to get your timing right, you're able to keep your time. You're not at the wrong place at whatever time. I think you started making the way out of it.
All right. So in closing, just like my colleagues are saying, learn to prioritize your time. Then also learn to say no. You can't say yes to everything. It's not everything that you say yes to. You understand? Learn to. It's not every event that you go. You understand? Know what works and cut off irrelevant things from your life. I think we can now close the show for today. Thank you so much for joining us. This is You Speaks TV. Until next time. Bye.